I just want to tell everybody good morning here on March 1st, 2015, first Sunday. And we're going to just start our little short, abbreviated service today. And I'm just going to read the Psalm 121, first of all. First, I want to give all praise, glory, majesty, and reverence to our God, who is God above all gods, our Father. And it reads, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. I just want to say thank the Lord for allowing us to be here today. It is a good day because we're here. And so as I said, we have an abbreviated service here today. And so I'm just going to get right on to what we're going to talk about. And let me just say, I was in a church here in town, a local church. I won't call the name, but it was a predominantly black church, and I was sitting in the very back, and I was watching the people, and the preacher was talking about teaching a Bible study, a lesson, and he read something here that really made me think, and it was Philippians 1. Well, he went through the whole chapter, but anyway, Philippians 1, 29. I'm going to start at verse 28 and just kind of work on down to 29. That's the one really one I want to concentrate on, 29. And it reads, and in nothing terrified by your adversaries. Just don't be afraid about nothing is what he's saying, which is to them an evident token of perdition, but to you of salvation and that of God. All right, here's the part. For unto you it is given in the behalf of Christ, not only to believe on him, but also to suffer for his name's sake, for his sake. Suffer for his sake. And I was sitting back there and I was thinking, I'm looking at the people and I'm thinking, what do people think about suffering? Their idea of suffering. Do they realize what suffering means in this context? And most black people think, suffering, you gotta suffer for Jesus, suffer, by going up the rough side of the mountain, up the rough side, and always down, going through, when it'll get better when I get to heaven, but you gotta die first. You're going to miss some good times and some victories here if you just worry about suffering in here and it don't get no better till you get to heaven. But I was sitting there and I was thinking, man, what do they think about suffering? I don't subscribe to that viewpoint of suffering like that. But I was invited to a predominantly white church, and I'm not praising nothing to you. I'm just telling the story now. But I was sitting there and I sit down and the preacher comes in and he says, how many of y'all willing to die for Jesus? Raise your hand. People raise their hand up and everything. I raised mine up halfway. But he showed a film of one of these soldiers that did the Bin Laden raid. And he was talking about, the reporter asked him, the soldier, were you afraid of dying? It looked like a one-way mission here. Weren't you afraid? And the soldier said, no, I thought about it once, but I had to accomplish my mission. I knew what might go, may not come back, might go to prison, might be tortured, but I had to accomplish my mission, go through. So then this preacher, this church, he showed a picture of this fighter, this undefeated fighter, and said, look at him, his stance, and he can just deceive you, he can throw that punch and knock you out, never been undefeated, he's prepared. He's prepared for battle. And he said, sometimes you're going to take blows, but you got to, go on and deliver some. My point is, he was talking about, going on, going forward. You're going to take some blows. The thing is, he was trying to say suffering is when you're going to take blows, but you got to continue forward, shake it off, and just keep fighting. See, we are supposedly in the armor of soldiers in God's army here, and when you're a soldier, you're going to go through some things. Sometimes some bad things going to happen here in your life, but you got to persevere. And that's what he was saying, and the point is they had a little bit different outlook on suffering. This preacher was saying, you just got to, keep on going. Keep on trying. Accomplish your mission. And he was doing a review on being prepared and going through. I think if you read, Ephesians, start around verse 13, and talk about I'll just read verse 13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand the evil day, to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. But he was talking about having your armor on, your helmet, your breastplate, your feet shod, and your chin, coverings, and just being prepared, having that word in you, But what I'm trying to say is, this man was teaching that you got to get prepared, get this armor, get this word in you, and be ready to go forth and do it, fight. This preacher would say, look, he gave you all this equipment and everything, and he gave you an iron rod that's called a sword, and it's sharp too, because you got to be able to deal on something. When the evil devil or things, some come against you, you got to be able to fight. When you take a blow, and you in the army, you take a blow, you take a hit, you got to be able to be ready to deal a little something too. It ain't always like we've been talking, you just lay down and suffer and let somebody kick you. You got your arm on and they're kicking you, beating you, and you talking about, I'm going up the rough side of the mountain, I'm here to tell you something wrong with that idea, because the Bible says get your armor on, get the word in you, apply the word, and give you a sword to defend yourself. He didn't give you that sword to just use it for a cane and just dance around with it. No, he gave it. It's sharp and pointed. You can stick and slash. You can get joke off of it. Somebody coming in there, if somebody coming into your house, gonna break into your house and kill you and your family, you just gonna fall on the floor and start singing, I'm going up the rough side of the mountain? No, I'm gonna get my sword. All today. It might be a knife, might be a gun, but I'm going to defend my family. Because I'm the strong man of the house. You might be the strong woman of the house. Ain't nobody can come in and hurt your family. You got to do what you got to do. That's what but the whole point is, this preacher, this church was talking about going forth, being ready to be hit, being ready to take some abuse and things going on and happening in your life, but you got to shake it off and keep going forth because you're a soldier in God's army, and you just got to go and fight. Keep going forward, keep moving forward, no matter what happens. Apply that word. Be a fighter for Jesus. Do what you've been taught to do. The word is telling you what to do. All you got to do is just do it. Be prepared. You know, God has given you the word. He gave you everything you need. Just do it. You know, if you go to Psalms, 91st Psalm, it says, you're in battle now. 1,000 shall fall at my side, but 10,000 at my right hand. That means we're gonna be in a battle, but we're gonna be whipping up on some folk, whipping up on them evil ones, whipping up on that old devil. We're not gonna be down here kicked all the time. Got the arm on, you just kicked all the time. I'm telling you, it's time for a change of thought. Change of point of view, because the word don't lie. It's just telling you, gave you all this stuff and prepared you. In the 91st Psalm say you're gonna be winning. So, but my whole point is telling you about when I was going to this black church and they was talking about, they had that mentality of suffering. The white church talking about suffering and come and swinging, keep going forward, fighting because you are a soldier in God's army. You just got to do what you got to do. And tell you the truth, I like that point of view. That really suits me. But suffering means going on. If we go, let's see here. I want to just talk about Philippians. Go back to Philippians 1, 29. For unto you it is given in behalf of Christ, not only to believe on him, but also to suffer for his sake. Yes, we got to define that suffering. Suffering don't mean you just I'm telling you, you just fall down on the rough side. Suffer means continue on. Jesus continued on and accomplished his mission, the mission that God gave him. He suffered, he endured. He had good times and bad times, but he suffered on to the cross. He could have, I'm not going to go through with this. Man, that's oh Lord, Father, this kind of tough days coming ahead here. I see what's happening here. I think I'm going to go on over here and do something else. But he could have turned away. He could have came off the cross. But when you suffer me, you going on. You fulfill your mission. You go on through it. You continue on. And that's what this verse is saying. Not to fall down and cry, and to fall by the wayside. It's to continue on with the mission. Jesus continued on with his mission, and therefore we got to pick up that cross. We got to go ahead and apply that word in our lives. We got to go forward. Then it takes some blows and hits and going through some stuff. We got to go forth and continue on. Suffer continuation. Keep going, because you in the army. We got to keep fighting until our day is done. Our days, it's all over. When our time comes to an end here on this earth, the Lord gonna look at us and say, well, from your beginning until your time ends, he gonna say, well, look here, I know your righteousness is filthy rags. I know you're not perfect, but you done some things and made some mistakes and things that happened to you. You can cause some things to happen to you, but I want to look at where your end point. Have you learned? Have you made adjustments in your life? Have you put on your armor, grab your sword, and you came working for me? Have you completed your mission? Have you got on that right road? And when you see that you listen to this, so you must be on the right road anyway. But when you see you done made a change in your life, and you got on this right road, the Lord will be pleased. And he'll tell you then, in that day when that book is open, he'll look at it. Oh, you done made the right moves. You done made the change in your life. You got on the right road. You got yourself right with me. I see it right here. And I'm going to tell you, well done. Well done. And well done means that you could be back with God. People say, well, when I get to heaven, I'm going to walk around. I'm just to close now. I just want to just tell you this about, talk about death and what it really means in heaven. In Genesis, they talk about, say God breathed the breath of life. That was a part of God that went into some clay and animated us and made us a living being, a living soul here. So when we end our time here, we don't end. The body ends, but God don't end. If you can go 1,000 billion years out there into nowhere space and you can look around, anything you see would be God did it. God made it. It's about God's creation. So he don't end. We just, if we didn't live right, make the proper change in our lives. When he looked at us, he said, well, he's going to say, well done, and we get to go back with him. See, the Bible and people, we call that heaven. When we back with God, our natural state. So we're spirits. He breathed the spirit in us, and that's who we are. When we leave this body, we go back to him. And that's heaven. That's heaven to be with God. And if you were separated from him, that's hell. Have you ever seen a drop of water roll back into a larger body of water? We've seen it rain. We've seen it on our table. We've seen it on the ground where some water would trickle on over here to a larger little piece of bit of water. And you can't see that drop anymore because it's one with the greater body of water. That's how when we leave this world, we go back to the greater body, who we call God. Anyway, I'm going to close on that one right there. And I just want to say that I hope this has been a blessing to you, and I hope you got something out of it. I mean, we got to change our thinking. We got to put on this armor. We got to be that soldier. And we got to continue. That suffering, continue on. Fight on. Endure to the end. Make the changes. Apply that word in our lives. And just continue for God's sake. We are soldiers in his army. We've got instructions. And just continue on. Thank you.